weird. It's a little different. But sometimes you got to go back to what your roots were originally casted on. This is how it originally was when the On the Money Sports podcast first became. And here it is again, kicking some ass. We're doing a special On the Money Sports Lounge Edition.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is the October
Watch 1 second.
Sports Equinox, and we are doing it big. We're taking it back to our roots here tonight on tonight's podcast, here at Casa de Money in the fabulous On the Money Sports Lounge. We are coming to you live for another edition of On the Money Podcast. As I get everybody situated, oh shit, we're marking it up today. We got the TV behind us showing us so that you don't miss a minute of the action live from the On the Money Sports Lounge and bringing it back to basics, bringing it back to season 1, season 2, how we started this podcast, how we put it together in its infancy. Next week, we will be back at the studio doing it big with Bobby and Brandon. And this week, we're just taking a little bit of a nostalgia mania audible that we had to call. Based on work schedules, we're all adults, we're all grown. We know how the work week is. It kicks our ass. So this was the best possible solution, and I'm super excited for it because tonight's kind of a big deal. We've got playoff baseball going on right now. We've got week 6 of the NFL season approaching right around the corner, and the waiver wire week from hell for some of us, after so many key injuries going down in week 5 of the NFL season. And on top of all that, as if it can't get any bigger or better, tonight, live here, the 3rd annual online Supreme Baller Society draft. It's a celebration here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot be more excited. I'm just going to share the page.
I'm sharing the stream. The stream is not coming off of the cook-up, our usual space of the cook-up. It's going directly off of my feed. So if you're watching, be sure to watch on my feed. Go to my main page, Oscar Muniz Jr. Scroll down. You'll see my videos playing live. Join the live. I also shared it in the forum. You guys have to let me know how the audio's going. It's been a long time.
It's been a while. We're taking it back to basics, and I'm super excited for it. It's, right smack dab in the middle of the Sports Equinox. So this is the Equinox Special Edition episode where we will be covering a little bit of baseball, a little bit of football, and a little bit of basketball.
So anything, if you're going to comment on my main page, all right? My main page. Comment on my main page. I'm staying with it. I'm watching you guys. Every comment you got. Freddie, I know you may not be watching us right now because I know maybe you are watching us now, or maybe you're avoiding watching us because I don't know if you know, but the score in Citizens Bank Ballpark right now is 10-2, and about 8 home runs have been hit by the Philadelphia Phillies tonight.
Yeah, they're chipping them up right now.
You're right, Dale. Let's go, Phils.
It's pretty bad.
If this score stays the same, this should have been a damn sweep, but that's all right. We're going to come back tomorrow night and do the damn thing over again. Now you're hitting my players. What are we doing?
So this is the first of 3 games today.
Let's go.
Bills and Braves, followed by the
it is a home run derby at the bank. No,
Astros, Minnesota, followed by the Dodgers, Diamondbacks. So they're trying to get all these series wrapped up. They're really not trying to compete with the NFL tomorrow, and they're trying to get this shit done before Sunday so that they can get into the ALCS, NLCS.
I'm going to have fantasy implications for tomorrow because I'm paying attention to Kelsey. Kelsey's supposed to play tomorrow because he had a great day of practice, supposedly.
What up,
treatment on his ankle has been amazing. However, that game is not even going to be as important to me as that Citizens Bank Ballpark because it's Red October. Let's go.
Well, it's going to be Chiefs and Broncos, so, a prime special if there ever was one. The Broncos are to prime television what the Jaguars are to London at this point because
but the difference is the London Jags are elite.
London Jags are pretty damn good. And
what's up, Mikey?
They got themselves a big win against Buffalo, a frustrating game to watch. I guess that's what it feels like to be a Buffalo Bills fan when you're watching a football
I just
team
thought of
that
something.
everybody's dropping like flies during the football game. And
I thought the Penguins cheering Fire Canada was your fantasy, Oscar. It was. You know things are bad when even the hockey fans are saying, "Get the hell out of here, Canada."
bro, it's the
We didn't win
multiverse.
that game because of you, bud.
It's the multiverse of madness, bro, because all 4 sports are going down right now, all 4 major sports, and the Fire Canada chants have trickled over into the world of hockey. The Pittsburgh Pens showing some solidarity for their brothers, the Steelers, and they are trying to get hashtag Canada gone. The man's trending all week long, and
Let me get the Marshmallow Man, if you can reach it.
just try not to knock anything over. It's Nostalgia Mania, baby. We're here live with All the Money Sports Lounge, and I'm loving every second of it. Of course, last time I was in here, my team lost. That's neither here nor there. This week, we will be in London for the early bird special, going up against the Baltimore Ratbirds to kick things off for Week 6 of the NFL week. Oscar O. Money's beloved Steelers are on the bye week, so
First place in the North.
For a football fan who plays fantasy, to have your real team be on a bye week is just such a nice, relaxing type of a feeling where it's like you kind of you can set up your day the way you want it to be with no stress, with no worries.
The lounge is going to be closed this weekend. I know it's going to be the 3rd time in 4 weeks, but it's the bye week. And when the boss says she wants you, the boss gets what she wants.
Gotta take care of business. Steelers are off.
However,
the bye week with a win.
The lounge will be open in the next several weeks up until that trip to Akershire.
Well, the Titans are off.
Akershire.
And then
you'll have a free day of no stress to Titans waivers and watch your fantasy.
Casually, most likely lounging in the lounge. This week I will be at Casa de Soto, Titans country, stressed out, yelling at my TV, watching us do battle with the Baltimore Ravens, and then I will be red zoning it up for the rest of the day, maxing and relaxing in my PJs. It's nice having those days, especially
what up, Rob?
Working all weekend, so it's like Sunday is kind of like my compressed weekend all in one day. So you just try to make the most of it when you can. And I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be exciting. It's weird seeing myself behind us right now. I can't lie.
It is a little weird, but welcome to the big time.
We're doing it different. This is how the podcast started. When we first started off the podcast, we didn't even have live cameras. We were just doing audio versions, and then slowly but surely everything grew, and part of our growth or the friends that we've been able to make in the last couple of years, and the group of guys, a lot of them that we're going to be drafting with tonight in the 3rd annual Supreme Ballers Society Fantasy Basketball
I had a Scott's
Draft,
Tots episode today.
That I did no practice for. I didn't even do a mock for it.
I don't have time to mock for it.
I don't.
I hope I have time to set the right lineup because I'm so zoned in my 7 leagues. Where
that's the issue. That's the issue. It's football season.
The last 2 weeks, I've gone 6-1 in both leagues, and both 1 losses I've taken
back-to-back weeks.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Both leagues I lost was gridiron, and the total combined score of both games 7 points. Ooh. I lost by 0.80 this past week. 0.80. I couldn't get 1 damn run from Zamir White. 1.
Did you start Zamir White?
I had no choice. I had nothing on the bench.
Damn, your running back situation was that.
Aaron Jones was called out at 5:00 in the evening.
Yeah, I'm glad I had to pivot.
Then the week before, I lost by 6 points because Daniel Jones threw 2 interceptions, a fumble, and he just couldn't get any yardage.
Daniel Jones was not practicing today. He was not at practice. He was at practice. He just wasn't actually practicing. They're sitting him out, maybe precautionary. Who knows? We all know that he was going into this week with some issues, but we had some major hits to a lot of fantasy teams this past week.
Would a running back please stand up?
The waiver wire pickup of the year to this point, Devon A-Chain went down. He's on IR. Justin Jefferson, the number 1 overall pick in the majority of fantasy football leagues.
Snap.
He went down.
Magoo is flying in tomorrow, and it's Mikey's birthday. It's going to be a fun weekend, so that's a good thing.
Hell yeah. Good shit.
It's a good thing the lounge is closed. We would not be graced with the presence of Mike.
Yeah, everybody's going to be home chilling. Everybody's gonna be home chilling this weekend, chilling with family. So yeah, we had major injuries,
What up,
catastrophes
Julio?
in some leagues. James Conner getting put on IR, and
Justin Jefferson being put on IR.
the craziest waiver wire week of the year so
A-Chain
far.
on IR.
Yep.
I'm firing up KJ Osborne in the Champions Dynasty League.
Yeah.
I was looking at my line. I'm going, oh crap! I never got rid of him. Oh,
It's a
wide
good thing he
receiver
kept him.
too.
I was definitely surfing for him. I was up until past 4 doing all my waivers. I'm in 12 leagues, which is a reason why I haven't. Again, I feel like I am a broken record when it comes to basketball season and getting it underway. We haven't even discussed. We may as well next week do our playoff and predictions for the NBA.
October 24th is the start
That's
of
the start. So then we got next week, and then that way we can get.
So we got 2 weeks till basketball starts.
We can hold ourselves accountable and get the material out there and get our official picks out there. But I'm not going to lie to you. I have been so entrenched and wrapped up in football with fantasy, with reality, with my Tennessee Titans continuing to be the classic case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And then this week, when everything came crashing down, one of my best teams lost Jefferson and Devon A-Chain in one shot. Yeah, it hurt bad. It hurt bad. And that's a league where shout out to the East Coast Champs League. That's the league where we put in our bids the night before for waivers. So you can put in a waiver for a player and you can be outbid your fab depending on what you put out there. Classic case of Price is Right. And this morning I put in 51 fab dollars on Sir Kendrick Osborne, and I acquired him. Don't know what the other bids were. Don't care. Don't matter. I beat him. And my second bid, I got outbid by someone who bid the same amount as me for Mr. DeMarcado from the Arizona Cardinals, who had a good showing this past week.
I tried getting him.
However, there was
I won all my league, most of the leagues. So guess what? I couldn't get him.
There was a report that stated that Keontae
Catch
Ingram.
his tears, Oscar. I can see them from here.
I mean, I've been rolling. I've been doing pretty good in that league. So I really just have to weather the storm of this next month. And the hospital beds at the Beer Money East facility are going to be full with these guys because I ain't dropping them. I'm probably not getting rid of them. There was talks of Justin Jefferson trades here and there, but at this point, he may or may not even come back. That's a whole other conversation in itself. If we're talking about a Minnesota Vikings team that's not winning,
they're 1-4. Yeah. They could easily be 1-5 this weekend. And the rumors of Kirk Cousins getting traded are getting louder and louder.
And that's a crazy thing too. Like, what if they just choose to blow this up before the deadline? A conversation that, we can say that about a lot of teams. It's just we don't really have them pinpointed at the moment. Like, we don't know. And we're talking about reality football now, which can drastically change so many different outcomes in reality and
Kirk
fantasy.
Will be traded by October, Noli said.
Kirk Cousins gets traded? You think they
by the end of this month?
But if you're Minnesota, what do you do though? Like, what's your backup plan?
It's his final year of his contract, so got to do something. Like, trade him and see what you can get.
It's one of those things that when I first heard about it, I was like, I don't know if that'll really happen. But then every day it feels like it starts to grow more, like the rumors. So then I start thinking, damn, maybe they do
going
trade
to the
him.
Jets.
Like,
That's Noli's prediction.
New York Football Jets.
It's a major upgrade over Zach Wilson.
The Jets he
can get the ball to Garrett Wilson. He can get the ball, dumped off. It'll be just like old times. We'll see Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook's numbers will go back up.
One of my on the money picks was the Jets beating the Broncos, and they did exactly that.
That is. I forgot. So much was going on Sunday. I forgot to do my picks. So yours much. Truly has to do.
You're dropping 10, baby.
10.
10 on the money picks.
10 this Sunday on TikTok.
I'm currently sitting at 14 and 11. Mike D, what is your record on the money picks right now?
Because mine's is the same as it was last week, whatever it was.
What, 2 and 3?
No, I went.
Oh no, yours is the same because you didn't make your picks.
Yeah, it'll be updated by this weekend.
All right, so it's Jets go against the Tush Push this Sunday. That's going to be an interesting, extremely ugly football game with field goals and sacks and fumbles.
Trey Vance Turner with a vacuum
and field position, because the kicker of it is the Jets are still playing elite defense right now. They're and
it's not going to be. The Eagles are going to win.
Yes.
But
yes,
it's not going to look as easy as it had. Like,
no, it's going to be ugly.
The Jets defense is going to.
It's going to be ugly. I expect Hurts to throw a couple interceptions against this defense, but I also expect Zach Wilson to cough the ball up too. So you give the Eagles those extra possessions, and they're going to use them, and they're going to cash them in eventually.
That's what's going to happen. The score is probably going to be like 21-3, 21-6.
Maybe 18-12. Something disgusting. Something disgusting.
Because the Jets defense, Sauce Gardner is going to probably be on A.J. Brown. So a lot of the looks is probably going to be Devontae and Dallas Goedert. So we'll see. I mean, they're going to shut that run down.
Dallas Goedert. Shout out to the Eagles for unleashing Dallas Goedert this past week finally, because that was a stressful situation to have to deal with each and every week. He's a set it and forget it guy.
What? I didn't go 6-0.
And he was starving.
5-3.
5-3?
No, I lost in 2 leagues.
5-2.
5-2.
5-2, and then 6-1 the previous week. That's good. That's
True
good.
Legends, and I lost Gridiron.
That's good shit. I went.
I am on a rolling dynasty. I am on a rolling League of Boom.
In Champions Dynasty, you are the number 1 seed right now.
I am the defending champion of League of Boom, and I am on a roll right now.
Yeah, it's
and sick picks. I'm
impressed with the dynasty.
From being in 12th place, I've jumped all the way. I'm at 5th now.
You're climbing up the charts. You had 2 good weeks. We were going to discuss it too in a bit, as far as like who is your particular fantasy football MVP. To each of you right now who are listening, like up to this point, who has been that particular fantasy player that has gotten you to your scrappy 3-2 or your 4-1? Maybe you're 5-0. Maybe you're sitting at 5-0.
Bonus
right
points has been my MVP.
Bonus points, yeah. Thursday's bonus points for my MVP. Thursday coasted me in a couple of matchups. And then this week in overall, I went 8-4, which is better than my previous week. I think I went 5-7 last week.
Sauce been getting sauce this year, laughing my ass off.
He's been. I mean, I don't know. They've been out there. The Jets defense is ranked 7th right now. And every win counts in the NFL. Yes, it is against the lonely Denver Broncos, but a win is a win. And that was a bad blood matchup that they had going on. With Hackett on the sidelines calling the plays against his old team.
No, they're 3-2, ain't they?
Jets.
No, they're 2-3.
I mean, listen, I don't have high hopes.
Christian McCaffrey is the MVP so far of the fantasy football year.
CMC is a fantasy MVP. See, for me personally,
I would think it's Tyreek Hill.
For me, it was a tie, and they're both on the same team. One is Tyreek Hill all the way.
And the other is
absolutely Tyreek Hill, because you can't just give me a 70 bomb and not be. And the other is another guy that gave me a 70 bomb that I left on the bench. His name is Devon Achane, and he is now currently sitting on my IR spot. But that man, up until this point, these last 3 weeks have been a hell of a ride. He's gotten me through some dark, murky situations where my Gridiron Goats team is not only shaking the ropes, but we might go over, because I don't know what happened in that waiver wire for the Gridiron Goats League. Shout out to you guys, but everybody must have been asleep. And all the top waiver wire ads of the week were sitting on the wire once everything was processed. Everybody, KJ Osborne, DeMercado, Jeff Wilson.
Were you able to get most of them?
I got all of them. I got all of them. There was one guy I couldn't get because there wasn't anybody on my roster I wanted to drop.
Right now, so I'm behind and already got the notice.
We got the Phillies and Braves live watch along that we're doing right now, and in about 30 minutes, we're going to be drafting for the 3rd annual Supreme Ballers Society Basketball Fantasy League that we've got going on.
Should have been a damn sweep.
Giving you all the updates.
Thanks a lot, Hoffman.
The up-to-the-minute updates up until it's draft time, and then the show will inevitably fall off the rails. And
what up, Serge?
We'll be doing Q&A.
Waiver legend.
Bro, I got busy on the waiver wire this past week. I was shocked. I saw that you picked up Logan Thomas, I believe it was. And then I'm looking at everything else, and I'm looking at my roster and who I wasn't able to get. And I saw all these. I got KJ through the waivers. My bad. But Jeff Wilson was still sitting out there. DeMercado was sitting out there. Keontae Ingram still sitting out there. And this is me running it with my 2 quarterbacks of Joey B and Pat Mahomes. Joey B, who came back and had a great
Serge, what was I supposed to do, bro? All the fantasy happened. All the fantasy happened.
And
all that was left.
Shout out to Gridiron Goats League. 3 of the matchups for that league came down to the wire. I'm talking about like 2-point differences in 3 head-to-head matchups in a 10-man 2-quarterback league.
But that's all right.
And I was one more Josh Jacobs carry away from being 1-4. If Josh Jacobs takes another 10-yard run, I'm sitting at 1-4. He doesn't get the ball again. Jordan Love plays like utter garbage. And next thing you know, I steal 2 of my leagues, and that's the
Travis
difference between
Kelce
6-6 and 8-4.
is available in Gridiron Goats, but I want a quarterback in return.
Sound the alarms. Well,
that is the only way I trade him. I
want
want a quarterback in return, and I'm not asking for a top 5 fantasy Trevor Lawrence-esque. I'm willing to, and maybe your second running back for Travis Kelce. I'm all for it.
I lost by 0.37. That's real crazy. So
you lost by 0.37.
Surge in our league, bro. They all came
I was
down
sick.
to.
I lost by like 0.8 or something like that.
I won by less than a 1.5. Literally going up against
Sat Hopkins.
Going up against
Mikey
Jacobs.
sat 2 people who had 70 points in True Legends.
Oof. On my Aaron Rodgers. D-Hop had his best game of the year. Unfortunately, our defense had the worst game of the year. And if you were a Zach Moss truther and didn't start him this past week, it's like, damn, bro, because he's the gift that keeps on giving, apparently. He broke for a 50-plus yard run on our run defense that hasn't allowed that to happen in over a year. And we absolutely got mossed from pillar to post going up against the Indianapolis Colts this past weekend. Zach Moss is still a viable starter, and he is still potentially someone that can help you get into the playoffs. 1-4. So
what's up, Chris?
You're sitting at 10 and 16, I think it is. 10 and 16.
I'll talk to you guys after the draft. See you around town, kiddos. Hey, that quick, Drew?
Andrew's locked in.
You were in and out, bro.
That's all he had to say. Andrew's locked in right now. He's locked in. He's getting ready for the draft that's going down in a half hour. He said that he is going to be going into his area of seclusion, similar to Aaron Rodgers before the season started. I don't know if he's going to be eating the magic plant.
Chris,
he's
even if I started him off, I would have lost still by 60. My stack was crazy.
What's the Tua?
Fields and
Fields more. Yeah, that and we we talked about it a little bit when we did the live draft order this past Sunday in the lounge, that whoever you went up against, if you were going up against the stack, you were going to spend the whole weekend staring at your lineup and trying to figure out a way to,
Chris was the first person to mention it too when he was like, guys, 123 already on day one.
Yeah, it was crazy. I actually had 140 on day one because I started Cole Kmet as well. And he's
Zach Moss looked like Barry Sanders against them Titans.
He definitely did. We had no answer for him. And not just that, we couldn't make a stop. We couldn't buy a stop. We showed our ass, and it was the Dr. Jekyll to Mr. Hyde effect after being completely dominant over the Bengals the previous week. And I know nothing more about my football team now than I did before, because they're doing the same thing to me on repeat this year, where you're just each week you're just going along for the ride. There's so many ugly things, so many great things, and one thing that wasn't great was our defense, and the fact that Tier Tart wasn't in the middle clogging up on the defensive line. It reared its ugly head. He's a big deal for our front line. Tier Tart and Jeff Simmons. I think Tier Tart is a big deal for Jeff Simmons. In all reality, that's how essential he is to the whole
operation.
Kudos
to the commissioner of the Gridiron Goats for being in the Steel City this past weekend and witnessing an unbelievable fourth quarter. I've said it once, I'll say it again. Lamar Jackson looks befuddled sometimes when he plays the Pittsburgh Steelers.
He has a rough time in Pittsburgh.
1-3 career lifetime, 3 touchdowns, 10 turnovers.
Oh yeah, your team turned up because your stack finally woke up. Chase Burrow was finally a thing, and you had the most points out of all the teams that lost.
Bro. I've been there for those fourth quarter comeback wins against the Ravens live, and there ain't nothing like seeing it live, and that's your team, and you're there live, and it's against your hated rival. I loved every moment. Here we go. Hey, what is going on in
here? There it is. Yeah. He was loving it. He was all happy talking about his Steelers, having the nostalgia mania flashbacks, and you just struck a nerve.
Well, nothing beats it when I walk in here and go, how about that legend missing the block, just getting the quarterback
you call them our hero.
Yeah, how about your hero? How about your
hero, Jalen Warren, who had more points than Najee Harris this past weekend, might I add. He's pretty consistent in that he's
he
out there
makes
scoring.
Plays when he gets the ball in his hand. Not too much rushing, but when he gets that ball in his hands and the running back screen, he's like Darren Sproles.
How about Matt Canada's reaction to the touchdown?
I'm still trying to It's
How
one
about
of
his
two
reaction,
things.
bro? Like,
It's one of two things.
what was he
One,
thinking?
was he like befuddled, like, oh my God, it worked?
Jalen Warren saved us coming from a Pittsburgh Steeler fan himself. Thank you. Let's
Befuddled?
go.
Or two, was it the guy standing next to him, the offensive assistant, that called the play, and he was like, oh my God, it worked, and my play didn't?
Was he jealous?
Could be.
a little bit,
Oh,
a little slightly.
It's because I
befuddled, a
never
little
seen
bit jealous.
Najee Harris hurdle over somebody and keep running. Come on, stop.
All they do with Najee now is just run him up the gut. They don't even do anything creative with him. Just run it up the gut. That's it. Just run it
I'm
up
excited to see what happens after the bye. Somebody said on the radio, like, well, they got to. They told Adam Crowley and Doran Dickerson on the morning show. I was listening to the recap because you get it for 24 hours. They go, well, in the bye week, Kenny's talking about he wants to eliminate the playbook. Adam Crowley goes, what, you mean the whole playbook? You can't eliminate bad play.
Their defense is playing great. That's a top 10 defense for sure. In some categories, even higher than that, the way that they're playing. And they have a all-you-can-eat ticket tomorrow night, Thursday night football, going up against their division rival, Denver Broncos. Russ, let's ride. And the whole
Chris is right, man. The Chiefs defense is really good.
They are. Yeah, they're good at every
more or less
aspect.
They're winning more games for them than the offenses.
They're not allowing a lot of points to opposing wide receivers,
the offense
running
is
backs,
just not
quarterbacks. And the defense is bailing them out of some ugly they haven't. The Chiefs might not have played their best game yet, is how I look at it. But their defense is definitely in a place where last couple of years we're used to seeing a little bit of a softer defense, and the young picks that they had and they started last year are developed this year in their following season, and they look good across the board. Like the Chiefs are one of my plays for this week going up against the Denver Broncos because it's Denver and it's Russ, and
I need that
they
photo.
are slowly but surely 1 or 2 games away from being in utter shambles. So I'm loving the Chiefs defense as a strong play this week in fantasy football. Because I think they're going to go out there and they're going to eat.
Chris, I booked the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl this year. But if they don't get a legit receiving threat, that shit could come back and haunt them in the playoffs. When you're facing a team like the Dolphins or the Buffalo Bills.
And they do play the Dolphins in like 3 weeks.
That's going to be interesting.
Dolphins. It is going to be interesting.
Tyreek Hill's got that bitch circled.
Yeah. Will the Chiefs
Don't
be
think
able
for
to keep
one
up?
second he does not have that circled.
Will the Chiefs be able to keep up in that game? And also, will Mostert or Jeff Wilson be healthy in 3 weeks from now? Because this carousel that we're doing with Miami, like we've all been here before. We've done it with Wilson. We've done it with Mostert. We're doing it with
If none of them start, Ahmed is going to freaking play.
I picked up Ahmed.
He's going to go for like 150.
You just don't know, bro. One of them is going to go nuts. That's for sure.
Ahmed's going to go for like $150, and it doesn't matter. Listen, it doesn't matter who the running back is in Miami. They run.
Yeah, and that's going to be I felt good about my Ahmed pick. I saw Wilson get picked up in a couple spots. A few people were holding on to Wilson, especially like if you're playing in Dynasty. A name like Wilson is not one that you're going to find on the waiver wire.
I have an upgrade at quarterback, and it's Gardner Minshew over Daniel Jones and Gridiron Goats.
Minshew over Jones, man.
For at least the next month.
That's rough. Well, how long is Danny Dimes going to be out for? That's the question.
Nobody knows.
Like, what's the status of this? Yeah. He was getting pummeled again by a pretty bad defense. Miami's defense is not good. They looked good this past Sunday, though, in comparison, because they were eating Daniel Dimes alive.
I don't know what to say. That team's abysmal right now. Their offense is as bad as us. There's a lot of bad offense in the bottom half of the league.
Yeah. I mean, like,
we're 3-2 because of number 56 and number 90.
Yeah, agreed.
56 and 90 is the reason why we're 3-2, because
you've been there before, though.
In the 3 wins, they've taken over in the fourth quarter. That's given us fumbles, turnovers, and helped us score points.
And the Giants got the Bills this week, an angry Bills team that just lost in London and is traveling back home.
Is this what the heck's the back? Tyrod Taylor. Is this a Tyrod Taylor revenge game?
Tyrod Taylor revenge game?
Tyrod Taylor revenge game?
Well, Chris says that he doesn't think Jones plays this week. I'm leaning towards.
If he's your
him
$40
not
million
playing.
man, you're not gonna play him because you had money in your investment.
Well, he's not healthy, so you really can't do much at this point in time. And you're going up against an angry Buffalo team, so you don't want to expose him to that with the way this offensive line has been playing. And we're already in a point in time where we're having that long-term conversation about certain football teams, like with the Vikings. Justin Jefferson, do you return? Do you stay? Kirk Cousins.
He's going to return, but
when
they're
does
probably
Danny Dimes come back? And
well, look, Arizona's won and whatever, but they're in no rush to get Kyler back.
They're not,
because that just leads me to believe that if they finish with the worst record in the league, they're going to pick Kyler. They're going to pick Caleb Williams. However, is Caleb Williams going to want to be a Cardinal? That's the bigger question when that comes time.
Yeah, that's the.
He's already said his 6 teams he's playing for, and that's it.
The other side of this tanking job thing that we've got going on, and we're 2 weeks away from the trade deadline.
Terrell said the Giants can have all their players and still get crushed.
we're 2 weeks.
Chris Walski says he doesn't think Jones starts either. Give his neck a rest and give the offense a potential spark.
Tyrod Taylor could be the spark that offense needs, bro. Tyrod Taylor, Saquon Barkley, and maybe they give the Bills a run for their money a little bit. I don't think they win the game, but who knows?
They're not going to win the game.
They need a week off. They need a bye week, and unfortunately for the Giants, their bye week doesn't come until week 13. So they got a lot of football that they need to play.
I thought they were going to be a 7th seed. I thought they were going to be like a 500 team the whole year.
I thought
like
so
win
too.
a game, lose 2 games, win a game, lose a game, win like that.
The NFC is stronger than what we thought it was, and the Giants are not as strong as we thought they could be in a what we thought at the time was a weaker NFC. It's not weak. The Giants are weak.
They need a spark lit by a nuke.
They need to blow it up. Dayball slamming the tablets and being pissed off at the $40+ million investment of Danny Dimes. There's a lot going on those sidelines, similar to what's happening in Denver with Sean Payton getting in Russ's face. Like, there's just a lot of unhappiness,
watching
of bad
the Giants
offense.
is like watching Pee Wee football. Oh, damn, the Giant jokes are on a premium today.
Yeah, it's getting chewed up. They need a bye week this week. It should be their bye week, honestly.
Bro, they were
like,
a second half
switch
away
with
from
them.
being 0-5.
Yeah, they definitely were. And now Darren Waller didn't practice today with a groin issue. So he's not at practice. They're still not sure who their wide receiver 1 truly is. Insert Tyrod Taylor for who knows how many weeks. And now you guys all understand why I said the Philadelphia Eagles are winning the NFC East. Oh, yeah. And the Cowboys got absolutely bludgeoned on Sunday Night Football by the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers have a winning streak on Dallas, but this was the worst beating of all the wins they had over them. And everybody who's scrambling.
They need the annexation of Puerto Rico.
Anybody who's scrambling to look for a way out of Dak's contract, guess what? Dak is still owed a lot of pretty pennies, and he ain't going nowhere. He is the Dallas Cowboys QB1 for the foreseeable future. So buckle up, because Russ ain't the only one that's riding. There's a few bad offenses out there that, he's not one of those people that's going anywhere. If anything, the people above him would be the first to leave.
You think Billy B going to do with Mac Jones? He keeps getting benched, but he's still QB1. Who else is he going to go to? If he inserts Billy Zappi, he's getting the same exact player.
He announced Mac as a starter for this week. He did bench Mac at one point this past week.
They got shut out
by the Saints, and the Saints aren't even good. So we by week 3 or 4, we thought we had some answers.
And it was in New England.
We thought we had some answers on some of these football teams, week 3 or 4, but weeks 5 and 6 are showing us that there's still a lot of questions.
The NFC South minus the Panthers all got winning records, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're all 3-2, right?
I believe you're right. Because Tampa Bay was just on bye, right?
Yeah.
Tampa didn't play, so they had a
Baker's
good bye
feeling
week for
dangerous
them.
out in Tampa.
Good for Mike Evans, who needed the time off to get his hammy right, because we're seeing that.
I would still wait another week not to play him.
They got Detroit this week, so
it's a loss no matter what. Detroit's a good football team, and I told each and every single one of you.
Oh, I was with it. I
told you.
Hey, Detroit is my 3rd seed. I was drinking the Detroit Kool-Aid. I knew about it.
Jared Goff looks like a brand new man. Sam Laporta is Laporta is already a top 5 tight end in this league.
I thought Andrew left. He had time to put the middle finger Statue of Liberty emoji in. I thought he was preparing in the darkness.
Does everybody understand Laporta is a top 5 tight end already?
He's the man.
Not to mention, Amon St. Brown did not play this week.
He practiced today.
He practiced today. Rocked the team they play. Like
they destroyed the Panthers. The Panthers are the drizzling
Montgomery is running roughshod right now.
And he's about to again because Jahmyr Gibbs is limited.
Still with the hamstring. So 2 straight 100-yard games for David Montgomery. Sam Laporta is doing his thing. Whenever you see the little trickery, flea flickery, the ball's going to Sam Laporta.
Is that whenever you see
every time I see a trick play in Detroit, the ball goes to Sam Laporta. It
was a beautiful trick play.
And Jameson Williams is getting worked back in.
Yep.
This offense is getting, and the defense is being
Is Laporta
their
ranked
front
over
7 is good.
Is Laporta ranked over TJ Hawkinson officially, Terrell? I saw Hawkinson was at number 1 for a while. Laporta might have taken the spot.
Dan Campbell reminds me of Bill Cowher. That's a great comparison. They have the same demeanor, the same passion, the same fire. Like
Campbell's intense.
They're emotional. They're players, coaches.
He gets you worked up. Yes. I want to listen to his speeches on Sunday mornings before all the games start.
I want to know what it's like when you're down by 10.
Pumps you up, bro.
Like you're down by 10, and he's like, "Let's get out there and do this!" Like I look at him
probably
as
the same as when he's up by 10.
He reminds me of Joe Swanson from Family Guy. Let's do it!
Yeah. just adrenaline, bro. Just straight up adrenaline. Like he just radiates that shit. And the players feed off of it. And look at Jared Goff having a renaissance. You know what I mean? Like the guy's out there having the most fun he's had in his whole career. We're talking about a guy that's been to a Super Bowl. And
Twins started off 1-0. Oh wait, no, that's already happened.
Is that the highlights from the? We
Houston
got the Twins,
leads 2-1.
Twins Astros highlights right now.
Houston won because it's 2-1 Houston.
Laporta is the type of tight end. Like if I was trading a Travis Kelce, Laporta is the type of tight end I would want in return for an exchange that involves Travis Kelce because Laporta is getting the targets, he's getting the work. We're seeing components of the Lions offense come back into the fold, and it's not affecting Laporta's share. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like he's getting his looks no matter who's there.
Laporta's a real deal, man.
And if anything, he makes St. Brown more dangerous.
I had to sit out the whole second round of the Dynasty draft and pick him in the 3rd round.
Hell of a pick.
They have Houston leads the series 2-1, but it's game 4, and they're up by 1 right now.
Yeah, we got that. There's the Dodgers game that is going to be on later tonight. The West Coast game.
The Rangers, bro.
Ask Willie how that went. Well, Willie is currently 1-4, so he doesn't want to make any trades, and that's on him.
Have you tried to trade with him? Is that what you're trying to state?
I've tried, but he's just taking the approach of, he's good. He's not worried about it. It's not a sinking ship. He's not desperate. And shout out to you, my friend. One of the funniest and most fun drafts I've ever had in my life was at the barbershop because you just had to be there live to see everything that was happening. This shit was so freaking funny. It was one of the most fun drafts I've ever had in my entire life. And the fact that he is in this league, it just adds another component to the trash talk. We have 2 Eagles that are in the league, and both Eagles are currently in the basement right now because he and Dre are sitting at 1-4. And there is a 7-way tie at 3-2 right now in Noli's league. So it's been
How many teams make the playoffs?
Really crazy. It's 8-man. It's the same format as the True Legends League.
And True Money.
So it'll be 8 teams that are making the playoffs. You do not want to be in the bottom 2. You make it to that top 8, you're in the playoffs, and from there, anything can happen. The fantasy football season is a marathon, and if you survive it and you get into the playoffs, then it's a whole new ballpark. And at that point, in a lot of cases, you're playing with house money. You know what I mean? Like you made it, you survived, and at that point, more or less, like you stick to your guns and you go with the guys that got you to that point. And hopefully some of my guys will be back by that time because it'll be nice to have. Dude, Devon A-Chain.
I'm firing up Jonathan Taylor this weekend in Gridiron Ghost. The Colts already said they're ramping him up.
You have to. You have to. We'll still probably see a little bit of Zach Moss. So if you have Zach Moss right now, don't let him go.
No,
don't let him go.
I think JT's probably going to get 10 to 15 touches.
And Zach could potentially
and
be a
Zach
trade candidate.
Still get 20 touches.
He could be a trade candidate. That like we could add him to the mix of the names that could potentially end up going somewhere.
Yeah, because JT's not going nowhere now.
Nah, they kissed and made up. Like they kissed and made up.
They're
happy, and he went out there and he got people the 1.5 points.
He make it 14.
He got his money, but he didn't get you shit this last Sunday. That's for sure.
He got $14 million a year, which is pretty good.
What was it they do? It's the people that had the cojones to drop Zach Moss out there. And for those of you who started Zach Moss this past week, kudos to you, because those type of starts are the difference makers.
Terrell said he's firing him up in sick picks.
What, Zach Moss?
Well, Terrell can afford to lose. He's 5-0.
He's 5-0, so he's going to take some chances. It's like when your defense is up 3 touchdowns, right? Send the blitz.
Yeah.
Send the blitz. We're just going to pick. So Terrell currently
10-minute countdown.
10-minute countdown. Yeah, I don't know what So we have this draft that's coming up. We're about to do a basketball draft while we're.
I thought talking. It was at 9:30.
It's at 9. It's not going to get pushed back again. It got pushed back to 9. Everybody's going to be in position by 9 o'clock. I did no research on this. I'm just going to be shouting out the names that I actually pick.
Let me just.
And then for everybody who is part of the Supreme Baller Society and is watching the podcast right now, do me a favor. Once we're done drafting, post your lineup in the On the Money Sports Forum. Let's try to get all 12 lineups posted in the forum tonight when we're done the draft. It's a celebration. It's the third annual draft.
Freaking number 7.
Supreme Ballers, number 7. I thought I was 7.
Oh, wait, I'm 10. Oh, that's right. This is a
10?
freaking.
Oh, you're not getting your guy. You're not getting your guy. I'm going to grab another beer while he looks over the lineup.
I'm number 10. That's right.
We got 8 minutes.
Oh.
We got 8 minutes, folks.
I don't have my iPad, damn it. Oh, how am I gonna be able to read comments?
I'm gonna be switching back and forth between my picks.
Oh, okay.
I told you I'm completely unprepared, so I'm not about to, fuck it.
I forgot. I don't even know what car
I'm gonna be.
My iPad's in.
I'm gonna be keeping up with the comments.
I think it's in my
while we're drafting, because we're not gonna be ignoring what anybody's saying. It's not like I have a cheat sheet or a book to look at for basketball because I didn't do any of that. I did no research whatsoever. I haven't even been watching the preseason games. I just know that Dylan Brooks got ejected first 5 minutes into the Rockets preseason game.
So the 10th overall player is Anthony Edwards. Are you kidding?
Terrell's not ready either.
Who's picking Anthony Davis first? I can't wait to see that.
That feels like a Terrell pick. I don't know.
Come on, guys, don't take Chef.
Since we're about
He's
to
been
have
a part of my team every season.
Since we're about to have the draft soon,
don't do this to me now.
I feel like it's a good part of the episode to drop my start of the week for fantasy football. My start of the week last week, Breece Hall broke for a 70+ yarder and put the nail in the coffin up against the Denver Broncos. So I felt pretty good about that pick. As far as my on the money picks, I went 3-2. But my starts of the week this week, it's a tie. We mentioned him a little bit earlier. One of them is Raheem Mostert. If he's healthy, if he's the number 1 back, if he's going to be ready to go this next weekend, they're going to run all over Carolina.
They want AD to shoot 6 threes a game.
And there's nothing Carolina can do about it either. Because I don't know what Frank Reich and them are doing out there, but
that's fine.
They're just losing a lot of football games. They got their future
quarterback. They have
just
a lot of holes
to fill. Yeah, taking their lumps, and they need another draft potentially. Maybe they're that far gone.
This year, they'll have another bunch of high picks.
Adam Thielen has been a great bright spot for them. He's having a great year, and Adam
Thielen was wilding before the year talking about they were a Super Bowl roster.
No, and but
Adam
he's
Thielen was better off going to the Chiefs. I don't know what the heck he was thinking.
He's putting up some great numbers, and
Pat would have loved him.
He's a guy that a lot of people said that they weren't going to touch him. And now
I bet she's been added everywhere.
He ain't in any waiver wires. I know that. He's starting. He's in starting lineups right now, easily. And then my second start of the week, based on recent events with the injury to Justin Jefferson, I got TJ Hawkinson. I think TJ Hawkinson in this game against the Chicago Bears is going to go out there and
Jordan Addison.
Because I'm going to say this right now. Another segment that I had lined up for tonight's podcast, and you can answer it right now if you want. It was going to be who needs a win the most in week 6. And to me, it was the two teams that are playing each other on Sunday, Vikings, Bears. They both need a win. Because for the Bears, you didn't exactly kick out at 2.5. You got beat. And then
1-4, right?
Yeah. And then
the bitches should be 2-3 right now.
You knocked them out of the ring after you got beat, and the crowd popped for you a little bit. But you need
Addison
to beat
didn't
Minnesota.
Practice today?
No, he didn't practice today. He did not. It could be. Well, it was limited. I think it was limited, right? Or did he not practice at all?
Oh, Deontay Johnson needs to hurry up and come back to help my fantasy leagues.
There it is. I dropped his ass because I don't have enough hospital beds. I'm sorry, Deontay, but Justin Jefferson needs that bed, and you gotta go, bro. You gotta go. No offense.
What are we fighting for next year? Go ahead, tell the people.
What
are we gonna fight for next year in all our leagues that we're in? More IR spots.
More IR spots, more bench spots, because this is outrageous. It's been so tough this year with the ads and the drops, with everything that's been happening, and rostering multiple running backs from one team because you're just not totally sure exactly what that team is thinking. And it's just been, like I said, week 5 created more questions right when we thought we had the answers. That's really what it did. About to stop the tomfoolery talk. Let's get to the nitty gritty. I got the questionable notification for Addison today. Yeah, I don't know. I got Addison in my dynasty league, and if he is good to go, I'm starting him. I'm trying to avoid starting Deebo Samuel this week against the Cleveland Browns, who still have a very good secondary. They may not have Deshaun Watson, which this situation is now getting a little weird. He was not at practice today. Something's up with this guy. And it's looking like P.J. Walker is going to be in line to start against the San Francisco 49ers this Sunday.
Watson's not practicing again with his shoulder?
Nope. And I don't know if it's just about the shoulder, yo. I think there's more to it. I got a funny feeling, man, that this is gonna go down as one of the biggest heists in the history of the sport. The guy's not practicing again. And if you got the 49ers defense, you fire them up with confidence because P.J. Walker's coming to town. And that just spells a lot of forced fumbles, interceptions, and more smiles from the fans of the San Francisco 49ers.
I've almost I'm at my wit's end with 49er fans.
I dropped Fire Move weeks ago.
I can't deal with it no more.
What, the Brock Purdy wave?
Nah, it's just some of the 49ers fans.
It's because you work with 49ers fans, so it's different. You got to deal with them more.
I have to keep hearing the one guy go, yo, who got the number one defense? Who got the number? And I said, I don't give a rat's ass about a number one defense. Win the championship. I said, it's Super Bowl or bust. It's that simple. I was like, make sure you're still working here. Nah, because if we lose, you're going to be having – I was like, I'm going to have a field day with you. Because guess what? We crack and we make fun of the Dallas Cowboys and how they haven't won since 96. Well, the San Francisco 49ers haven't won a Super Bowl since 1995, and I was in 6th grade.
I wasn't even in violin yet.
Fire that up.
I was in 1st grade. Oh, man. That's for the 49ers fans at work.
Yep.
If you're listening right now.
KG and Dave.
Listen, I knew they were going to be good this year. I knew the Eagles were going to be good this year.
And then they get Randy Gregory. Like, I don't want to hear an excuse. Y'all better win a title. The same shit goes for the Eagles, too.
There it is.
There's no, well, we got there. Yay! No.
You can't blame the field again. You can't blame the field 2 years in a row.
Nah,
that's not going to work. But I do see the 49ers and the Eagles both remaining undefeated after this weekend.
Yeah.
Because the Browns ain't beating the 49ers with P.J. Walker, and Zach Wilson and the New York Football Jets are not about to beat the Philadelphia Eagles.
And who do the Eagles got next week?
After this week, I don't know.
I think it might be the Cowboys.
Is it Dallas? Is it Dallas week already?
Might be.
Eagles fans, who do you guys have after you guys play the Jets this week?
Come on, Birds fans, make sure you tell us. You guys are on Facebook. Now, I got a live feed for on my regular page.
Yeah.
On the YouTube. It's amazing to watch myself.
We're on the YouTube right now, right? I haven't checked on the YouTube. I'm about to link into the
Matter of
sleeper
fact,
app because we got this draft that's coming up right now. But I'll be going back and
see.
forth. I'm actually the 7th pick, so I don't even have to. I'm not in a rush. I get to kick back and relax, and just see what the other people before me do before I get the little notification that lets me know it's my turn. So I got my beer cracked and I don't have a game plan. So I'm not going to sit here and stress myself out over it. I'm going to pick my players. Next week, we're going to be on this podcast and we are going to be doing the NBA playoff predictions episode. That way we get the information out there. You got the number 3 pick. Okay, so you're not waiting for too long. We're going to be doing the NBA playoff predictions episode so we can hold ourselves accountable and we can make our picks and see what we got right and see what we got wrong.
Do you think they changed the touch push rule or the leverage on defense this whole season? All right, so I'm waiting till podcast day. I've been throwing little spiels here and there. I threw a little comment. At the end of the day, I'm also one of those guys that believes stop it. If you're running a play, stop it. However, I also see it from a defensive standpoint where the offensive linemen are cutting the defender's knees on this play, which in return can lead to injuries. However, if a defender does that to an offensive person on the special teams field goal, gaining leverage, it's a personal foul. 15 yards, automatic first down. So you can't punish the defense but make it okay for the offense. So I get why some of the defenders in the league, I think the defenders don't care that it's working. I think they care that their basis of that play is almost the same as trying to block a field goal, but they're being penalized for it. So I believe that's why the defenders are more mad than anything, and that's all right, and I understand that. So do I think they're not going to get rid of the field goal play? They're not going to get rid of leverage, but I do believe this is the last year of the tush push. There's going to be rules that are going to modify the tush push.
It feels like it is. I agree. It feels like it is. They're gonna find.
It's not that it's unfair because there's teams that run it and can't do it.
There's teams that run it and get obliterated.
And players get hurt. So that's another thing. They're going to show that teams are getting hurt doing it as well.
If your offensive line is shit, it behooves you to not try it because you're just going to end up hurting someone. When you have a top 2 offensive line, like
and that's what happened to the New York Giants with their center and their tackle.
And Nikolai Jokic is the first name officially off the board in the Supreme Ballers Society.
Good, let me know when it's my
Year
turn. 3
fantasy draft. Yeah, we'll switch. We'll go back and forth.
Will the Dodgers choke tonight?
They've already choked. It's just a question of will they do it again?
Yo,
that's
playoff Kershaw.
Oh my God, he got rocked. Bro. That was unearthly what happened to that man. Never before in the history of postseason baseball has there been a game where the team was able to put together 5 runs and 5 hits before an out was recorded.
How the hell does Bob Costas get to announce that game but not the Phillies game? We're more important than them.
Dodgers got more money. The Dodgers, dog. They got Lynn out there. Well, what's the score of their series right now? Is it
They're
2-0?
losing 2-0.
Oh my
The
God!
Diamondbacks can go for the sweep,
swept, bro. Yeah, it's Philly's best shot this year. It's Philly's best shot. If you guys are playing the Diamondbacks, then you just really have to worry about what's going on in the American League side.
Texas is on a roll right now.
They put Baltimore to bed.
They put Baltimore to bed real quick. They put the Rays to
Baltimore to bed.
They beat the Rays so bad the fans didn't come out.
Shout out to the Texas Rangers for sending 2 of my AL East rivals back to the couch where they belong. It was a hell of a run for those teams. Unfortunately, now we're all sitting together in the non-playoff section. And, hey, shout out to all the teams that are still in the playoffs right now and making some noise because there's been some pretty solid games. Not by the Braves today.
Shout out to Terrell being the first of us to win a championship in Major League Baseball fantasy.
Yes, Terrell is the first fantasy baseball champion among us. He is the pioneer of the group. He will be helping me put together.
Who was a last-minute addition, may I add?
He will be helping me. Him and I are going to be putting together the new baseball league for us for this year, the one that you have no choice but to be a part of.
Just like
since I have no choice but to be a part of the fucking 8-man league that you made. And one day you just woke up and just made an 8-man league and
8-man
what the
super
hell
flex league.
Is Andrew timing out? This dude's doing auto pick already.
No way.
Nikolai Jokic must have been his pick. because he timed out.
But you got to be ready for his second one. So that means
It's only the second pick.
That means he's getting Luka. Because it's going to go to the.
It's frozen. It's not doing anything.
Mikey, Andrew,
Maybe.
What the hell's going on? Bro, that's crazy.
Psych him out. What the fuck is going on? Oh, okay. All right, we're moving. Giannis, Luka Doncic. I just had to refresh. Jason Tatum. Those are the first 4 names off the board. So we got Nikolai Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Luka Doncic, Jason Tatum.
Damn. Terrell took Luka on purpose in front of RJ. Damn.
Somebody was going to do it.
Talk about cock blocking.
Somebody was going to do it. You knew
that's
it was
cock
coming.
blocking to a T.
Somebody was going to do it. They were going to hurt the villain. Joel Embiid, next name off the board, picked up by Mac Miggs, who is the defending champion, followed by Steph Curry, taken at number 6, which leaves me here at the number 7 spot.
Who took him at 6?
Eric. So now I got to think things over because that messed me up bad.
Chef,
I was hoping Steph would
run.
Be there.
We
Oscar
had a great
sick as fuck.
Yes,
run. He is. Oscar's super sick. He put his head down. You're right about that. Oh, I need to think about this now. What do I do here? Got Shai Shoulders.
I'm sad now.
Halliburton.
I'm sad now.
You know what? Boom.
Kevin Durant?
Nah. SGA. Shai Gilchrist-Alexander. Let's do it.
That's interesting.
Let's do it. I was trying to get him last year in the league and wasn't able to. Didn't have it. Couldn't afford it. And I sniped Rob. So the sniping has already begun in the first round, Supreme Ballers. You knew it was going to happen. You knew it was going to get crazy. Keep them updated because I'm about to go back to the comments and see what people are saying here. Well, nothing ever since the tush push thing. Yeah, that's Lonzo Ball. Oh, LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball. Lonzo. Yeah, tush push has another year of existence. And then you're just going to have to figure something out. And for Philadelphia, that's going to be an interesting challenge for them moving forward if they eliminate the tush push next season. What they choose to do and how they choose to approach with their offense.
RJ said that was a reach, Mike.
What, LaMelo?
Yeah.
Who knows, man? I didn't do my research, so I'm not sure.
I didn't do my research either.
We're the worst.
Mikey put his hands up with the emoji.
I'm sorry, bro. We are terrible when it comes to this shit, man, because like basketball season starts right when we are fully ingrained in what's happening with football. You know, like even with this guy having his team on a bye week, it's still in his mind, it's just black and yellow. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, that's all he's thinking. Are you up now?
No. Serge is up.
Oh, okay.
The last 2 picks were Serge took Dame, Netta took LeBron, and she took Halliburton. So Serge is on the clock right now.
Serge is on the clock. Supreme
Anthony Edwards
Ballers,
is still there.
Year 3.
He's a 10th ranked player on Sleeper app.
According to Sleeper, he's the 10th ranked
Sabonis
player.
13.
I didn't even look at what the setup was. It's still point guard, shooting guard, forward, center, 2 utilities, I believe it is. I'm not totally sure. We're going to have to branch out and get a little bit more fantasy basketball talk.
I'm just waiting for Serge to pick. Did Serge pick?
Not sure. Not totally sure. Let me see here.
Yeah, we're doing our live SBS draft. So much, back to football. Like,
so who do you think is like the team that needs the win in week 6? Do you think it's the Vikings too, or
the Vikings?
Vikings,
but I don't think they're going to win.
Do you think they go 1-5? You think
oh my
Chicago
God!
beats them?
I think they're facing another ridiculously bad defense. I think Fields and DJ Moore to the moon again.
With a stack of all stacks. Do they explode again for a big game?
I don't think it's going to be to that, but I think you probably get a 50-burger from in bonus points. I think you probably still get a combined 80, 90 points.
I'm loving that in Dynasty. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm absolutely loving that in Dynasty.
23 seconds. What the hell's going on? Is this?
You might have to refresh it or something.
Let me go back in.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, because everything points towards, go grab KJ Osborne, but the reality of the situation is that KJ Osborne is not
I'm
going to
taking a
get
guy who's always on my team.
Donovan Mitchell. KJ Osborne is not a guy that is going to get the amount of targets that Justin
I took
Jefferson
2
gets.
shooting guards to
So
start this damn thing.
that's the reality of the
Points!
situation. Like, KJ is not going to get Jefferson targets. There's going to be more ball distribution across the board, which I feel like favors
Mikey, what's up with
TJ
this
Hawkinson.
damn app? Every time we do a freaking draft on a Wednesday night, it freezes. Well, sleeper app's the best app.
I've never tried this on ESPN, and I don't know if I want to be totally honest.
I think ESPN's way different than Sleeper. Where ESPN collects all your games for the week.
I'm going to go with the rookie that San Antonio tanked for, Wemby. So far, I got SGA and I got Victor Wembanyama. Feeling pretty good about that right now.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair this Sunday, though. I think even without Justin Jefferson, I think Osborne and if Addison plays and
is Scam Akers getting used? Is Scam Akers gonna? You
can't blame it on Scam Akers because it's the coach. He's got to use them, bro, and he's not using them. It's like, what did you trade him for?
I'm just wondering because right now Alexander Mattison looks like the RB1, and it's not a pretty RB1 situation, quite frankly, because he's not really that great, but he's doing a lot more than Cam Akers has done. But they might fire him up. They might fire him up this year because now you take Justin Jefferson out of the equation, and we don't know what these Vikings are without him. Like, we're about to see. Like, what's Kirk Cousins' value? Like that's one of those things where I was exploring trades for him because just
the Bears' defense is still abysmal, so they should be able to get something going.
Drizzling shits.
I mean, Hal put up almost 400 yards on them.
And the Vikings' defense isn't that much better. I guess they're better.
This is going to be
Bears.
like a 30-31 game. It's going. I take the over. I'm not even a gambling guy, but I'm telling you, take the over.
So a big DJ Moore game.
Oh yeah, I think a big DJ Moore game, a big TJ Hawkinson game, a Fields, Cousins. I think it's going to be crazy. I think that game is fantasy gold.
The fantasy gold game of the week. You think more than Dallas versus the Chargers on Monday Night Football?
Oof, that's another one.
I think that's the one. I think that's the one where I'm finally ready to start Dak Prescott and say to myself, you know what? I think he'll be all right tonight. I think we're going to get some points out of that game.
I told Alex I was going to say this on the podcast. I want to make this.
You can't be bad against the Chargers.
I want this to be heard from everyone.
Okay.
I told you Tony Pollard was not a number one running back. Did I not? Several years ago.
Well, he's actually in the top 10 right now with the rushing yards.
When you need the key yards, they're not getting them. He's being stuffed.
You can't blame him for San Francisco.
No, I'm talking about
the quarterback's
overall.
Giving the ball away.
He's probably had one really good game. Yes, and I'm not saying they should have kept Zeke. They clearly were right to move on. But they're going to be in the market for a running back after this year. They will be in the market for a running back. Remember, Deuce Vaughn ain't it. The other guy ain't it. And Pollard is a scat back. He is a Darren Sproles type back.
They'll be in the market and have Pollard still.
I mean, I would not be surprised a team like that tried to get Zach Moss.
Zach Moss is going to be an interesting topic.
They've already been linked to James Conner.
Weeks. There's teams out there that need running backs bad. And right now, Zach Moss got some juice. And he is the ultimate sell high in reality as far as teams. And
RJ Pick.
Them looking his way. Did he just say he quits? Just want to say, you guys don't like my Victor pick? I kind of like it.
Why? What happened?
Rangers, Phillies, World Series, Chris. That's what you think? Rangers, Phillies? Oof. That's pretty good. 2
home run hitting teams.
He didn't come back from the cave yet. Is he still in the cave?
Oh,
who's auto picking, guys? Mac Miggs? The champions auto picking? What the hell? Anthony Davis. So now you got Joel Embiid and Anthony Davis.
2 guys who miss games.
He's got 2 bigs. He's taking the approach that I took last season.
And then we heard about the NBA today. I didn't get to read the full article, but I seen the headline. They have done scientific studies have now backed that sitting your players does not keep them guaranteed healthy for the year.
I could have told you that.
Load management.
4 or 5 years ago. So you're telling me load management doesn't work? Wow. Who would have thought? Imagine that. Imagine a world where if you actually show up for work and play more games, you have a better shot of staying healthy than if you sit out and then
It's
come
just like
back
listen,
cold. Just come in cold and play.
Dorn Dickerson of Pittsburgh. He clearly said it today, too, about soft tissue injuries. The reason why there are more soft tissue injuries than there ever was since 2010 is plain and simple. There's not as many padded practices, and there's no more two-a-days, and they don't practice tackling as much as they used to. So now, back when they were tackling and they were practicing on a consistent basis, you didn't hear a lot of soft tissue injuries. Hell, you didn't hear a lot of ACL injuries.
No, you didn't.
But now you don't practice as much, and then you amp up what you're doing, and you start going full speed when you were just going 30, 40. Now you're going 80, 90, 100. You're bound to get injuries. So it's the same thing with the NBA. If you don't play, you're going to get hurt. Your body gets conditioned to handle the stress. That's what is so beautiful about the human body. The more it goes through, the more it absorbs, the more it can handle.
Yeah. So you hear that, AD? The more it can handle. Go out there and play, buddy.
They've been load managing AD for years, and AD still gets hurt.
He's still one of the most injury-prone players in the sport.
So you can't tell me that that's the key. Siakam?
Yeah, Fox.
Jimmy Butler. That was a good pick, RJ.
John Morant. De'Aaron Fox.
Is he still suspended?
Drew with Antetokounmpo and De'Aaron Fox. I like the approach.
Oh, this
Drew's
is different
right now.
But when is the Sixer being picked?
I like the approach right now. Well, the only Sixer right now that's worth getting picked got picked. It's Joel Embiid in the first round. Everybody else, you take them wherever, but you don't got to reach for those guys, especially the quitter himself, who's still sitting there in the queue. Unless Drew just says fuck it right now, right? And just and he pulls the trigger on his boy.
Zion in the third round.
Zion Williamson?
Mm-hmm.
He's a fan favorite in this league. Somebody always takes the waiver on Zion. And they always have him sitting on their bench doing nothing. So we're going into this draft cold tonight. Did no mock draft, no research, no nothing. Just drafting right now. We got through the draft season of the NFL about a month and a half ago, and we got through that and said to ourselves, we don't have to worry about another draft again. And then this draft happens, and we still ain't worried about it.
I'm not even going to lie. I forgot about it.
I didn't. We set it up. We booked it on last week's podcast.
When you guys brought it up, I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, we had to. It was either do it this week or we do it next week, but it had to happen sooner than later, so I'm glad we got it out of the way. All right, so what's Drew doing here with a minute 02? I'm pretty sure
he's contemplating James Harden, dog.
I know
he's contemplating James Harden.
I know he sees his name right now. He's staring. He's
he
staring.
Doesn't know what to do.
He's getting flashbacks of the posters on his wall.
All George.
All right, bro. All right. My boy's working right now, GMing. RJ with the throw up emojis. That's what he thinks about that pick. So Rebel Hayes now sitting with Luka Doncic and Pascal Siakam. Siakam's definitely a Terrell pick.
Yeah.
He's staying true to himself with that one.
Drew ramping up for a Week 8 league exit.
Karl Anthony Towns.
I don't know how I feel about that Siakam pick, though.
Yeah, but that's why it's a Terrell pick, because you don't know how you feel about it. You know, it's one of those things. It's just, ugh, you know. But it works for him. He's going to make it work.
I'll tell you what, though. This weekend's got a lot of fantasy gold. Like, a lot of points can be scored this weekend with some of these matchups.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you already mentioned one. You've got the Bears and the Vikings. Don't look now, but Seattle Seahawks and Cincinnati Bengals could be.
The Seattle Seahawks are going into Bengal land and coming out with a dub.
They're not. I don't.
Powered Kenny Walker to the moon. Kenny Walker, 30 touches over 100 yards. I'm calling it now.
I like Kenny.
They're going to keep the Bengals offense on the sideline, and they're just going to run.
You think Seattle wins that game for real? Is that going to be one of
I
your
think
10?
that score is going to be.
That has to be one of your 10 on the money
Yes,
picks.
it will be.
Because I feel like most of the games we mentioned tonight are going to be part of your on the money picks. Of course, Oscar O'Money's tradition is to drop the 5 on the money picks on TikTok on Sunday morning.
But things
He
happened
got
this
busy,
past weekend.
you know what I mean? He got caught up. He had a lot going on Sunday. He didn't get the chance to do it. So this next week, in order to stay true to the on the money picks race, he is going to be making 10 picks. I believe there was a week last week where you did that and you went like 7-3.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I was sick as hell because you got so many right
last
that
year.
week.
I did that.
It might work in your favor, and based on how the standings are looking right now, that might be something that you need at this point. As Jaylen Brown got picked, and now I'm up to bat. Wow. Okay. This is a shitty situation.
We're live, pal. Let me see your notes.
Got my on the money picks on there.
Commanders Falcons is another interesting game.
Yes, it is. It definitely is. Sam Howell, the most sacked quarterback in the league.
That could be a high-scoring affair.
The Falcons' defense can low-key be a good defensive start.
The Falcons' defense is pretty good. The secondary is pretty good. Desmond Ridder went for the first time ever in his career for over 300 yards. He heard the chatter about, hey, is Taylor Heineke getting the nod? He's seen many people were pulling the trigger on putting Heineke in their deep rosters. Yeah, next thing you know, the man comes out, 320-plus yards passing, a touchdown throwing, and a touchdown running.
He shut that shit down.
So
Desmond Ridder had a big day.
I am on the clock.
Desmond Ridder had a big day. Kyle Pitts had a big day.
Damn. Freaking Mikey took the guy I was going to grab.
Mikhail?
Yeah.
Yeah. The deeper we get into this draft, the more intrigued I am because I'm seeing these names here. And it's not like doing the mock drafts for fantasy football where you can sort of predict who's going to be where. With basketball, it's just different, man. Like names you wouldn't expect are kind of just sitting there and you're just kind of looking at your roster, thinking to yourself, okay, like it's only our third year doing this. So the experience factor is going to come into play eventually with this stuff. Shout out to last year's champ, Mac Miggs. Shout out to the guys who are tuned in right now and
Brandon
drafting.
Ingram. That's who I just went with. Only because of position flexibility. Shooting guard.
Yeah, he's a guy you can
forward. I could put him in 3 different spots.
Multiple spots. Right now, Serge is got the guards. He's got Lillard. He's got Trae Young. So it's interesting to see where he goes from there, where he pivots to. I'm drafting smack in the middle of a 12-man league, so there's really not much of an advantage either way. I'm just not waiting as long as I normally would compared to drafting on the back end or drafting in the front, and seeing all those names fly off. Cade Cunningham off the board as we are now in the third round of Supreme Baller Society League draft.
Netta took Jalen Brunson.
It's my guy last year that I traded to Mikey. Netta, whatever you do not trade him to Mikey. He's going to make it sound good. He's going to send you a package that first.
Mikey just with the F-bomb in the chat.
Do not trade that man to Mike D because it's going to completely destroy your team. You're going to implode from within. That's what happened with me. I got Jordan Poole, and I thought I was getting a stud, and instead I got a guy that was getting punched in the face at practice. So you can't get fantasy points for that. Let's see what she does with that second pick. Cowboys versus Chargers, I think, is going to be the best offensive output that we've seen from Dallas so far this year.
Chargers can't stop anybody.
Yeah, I expect the Dallas Cowboys to win that football game on Monday night. Now, if you guys are out there struggling against the Chargers defense, bro, I don't know what to tell you because CeeDee Lamb was already out there throwing hints as far as the game plan.
Oh, he was mad as hell
because. Dude, they got shellacked.
He had a closed meeting with closed-door meeting with Mike McCarthy on his usage.
The team you know you're supposed to beat, and you got shellacked by them.
You got routed. Kristaps Porzingis.
Kristaps.
Damn, good pick. He should flourish in Boston.
I think that we're going to get a highly entertaining Monday Night Football game as far as the scoring output goes from this team. It's good to see the Chargers back in the mix. We know that We know that the Chargers cannot get right no matter what, but we love the Chargers for fantasy football. So it's one of those things where you're looking for a Josh Palmer if he's still out there to pick him up. You're looking for a Quentin Johnston. Everything is pointing towards Austin Eckler making his return on Monday Night Football against Dallas. So that's another good thing. And, when he's back, they're just going to pepper him with targets because he's their out. He's always been their out, and he's always going to be their out. I'm on the clock right now with 1:45 left on my pick. So far, I've got Shai Childress-Alexander, Victor Wembanyama. I don't know how to say it. James
Wemby.
Harden. I call him Wemby. And
let me know when it's my pick. I'm going back to the comments.
Let's see here. Got some options here. Shit. Let me try something different. I'll go DeJounte Murray here. Get my second guard.
Drew still got the hammy posters under his bed. Julio, how do you feel about JT resigning with the Colts? Did he play his game right and pretending to one out? I would say. I don't think he ever really wanted to leave. He just wanted to be paid.
Top 5 running back contract.
And I'm pretty sure Anthony Richardson said, I need him. But then the Colts said, we need you to stop getting hurt.
Yeah, Richardson.
Chris Royce says, start your Bills players. Julio said Chargers announced Eckler's 99% chance to go this weekend.
Yep. Start your Bills players. Gabe Davis. How are you feeling about Gabe Davis heading into this matchup? My boy got me 18 points, so I was very, very happy. Gabe Davis was one of those question marks heading into the game against London because you love him for the big boom aspect, but it's one of those things where he either has to be getting you a touchdown or he's reliant on that deep ball pass. And if he's able to get you at least one of those two things, then you're on track to have a good day. I like the fact that he started getting targets early from Josh Allen in that football game. And it just made me feel better about the whole situation because there's certain Sundays where you can start a guy and they're not getting their first target until like the third quarter. But that wasn't the case in London. Gabe Davis was getting his targets and he ended up getting his touchdown. So this week against the G-Men, depending on what your wide receiver situation is, maybe you lost Justin Jefferson and maybe you lost out on the waiver wire because you have a good record. If you had Gabe Davis rostered, that might be the guy that you want to plug in and put out there.
Astros 3, Twins 2 in the bottom of the 8th. Mikey said F the Bills.
I'm firing up the Bills defense in Noli's league. I know that. I need all of that. I need all of that. I need them to get me 30-plus points like they did 2 weeks ago because that was crazy. But it's going to be hard because with Buffalo, they lost so many guys on the defensive side. And Von Miller came back, but I couldn't tell because he must have just been on the sidelines being a mentor. Because he definitely was not like
Chris said he's got to start Gabe due to the bye week this week. I mean, yeah. Gabe scored a touchdown in 3 of the past 4 games, I believe.
And this isn't a bad bye week compared to some of the bye weeks that are coming. You've got two teams off, Packers, Steelers. So you can navigate through two teams.
Hopefully now, like, I have Aaron Jones in one league. Like, Aaron.
Take the sunglasses off, right? The visors he wears. Take the glasses off.
Go to the hyperbaric chamber. Go get your hammies touched. Like, dude, I need you.
Go get your hammies touched.
I need you.
Yeah, bro. Like, he gave me a great week 1.
And take Christian Watson in there too.
Yeah, take him with you.
Take Watson to get his hammy, and then while you guys are getting your hammies, take Jordan Love in there and ask him, like, what were you thinking on those throws this past week?
In fairness, Christian Watson could have had touchdowns back-to-back weeks. He could have had a crazy touchdown had Jordan Love put the ball in the right spot and Christian doesn't fall short of the end zone. But Jordan Love playing like shit also
Jordan
helped
Love
me in
has
a couple
had
leagues.
Back-to-back piss-poor performances.
Stinkers. Absolute stinkers. So it's good for him to have the bye week. I'm hoping that the Packers are able to get their shit together on this bye week.
Colin Cowherd said he's just a backup quarterback.
Oof.
Colin Cowherd came out
after he
got done criticizing Kenny Pickett. He went straight to Jordan Love and said, "And there's another guy that's picked in the 20s. Bet you miss Aaron now, don't you? Well, how can you miss Aaron if he's hurt?
Well, Yeah, it was a pretty bad another game where Jordan Love throws multiple picks in the game. Just all out of sorts. Made the Raiders defense look like a viable defense, which we know that's not the case.
You got to keep AJ Dillon for now.
He just had his best game. Like he just had his best potential game.
Bro,
like he
the
went
Raiders
out there.
Beat y'all.
He looked like the
AJ
Dillon that we thought.
Nobody in this room but me. If I can go pull my football pool paper to prove it, I picked the Raiders in my pool.
Wow. This was an ugly week of matchups, though. Whoever won the pool that this week, they deserve it because
I had like 6 or 7 losses. Bro.
I was immediately done because I picked Washington.
I picked Washington and I picked
I was done.
Buffalo.
As
soon as those 2 losses came in, I was like, I'm not even going to look at this paper.
I'm out. There's nothing to look at. It's over.
I was like,
there's nothing to check on.
My wife goes, well, that's $2 loss. I was like, yeah, that's one less supersized, like one less breakfast sandwich this week.
It is. All hope is lost, and I don't even know if I'm going to do it this week because the games this week look just like last week. As far as the ugly
I'm doing
matchups.
2 papers this week. I'm doing all the ones I'm for sure on, and then the ones I'm tipsy turvy. I'm gonna pick a second one with the opposite of those.
Oh shit! I might do that.
$4.
I might buy 2.
Well, why not?
I might
$4.
buy 2. Oh, looks like it's my turn again.
Crap.
What we got?
But yeah, there was a lot of ugly matchups this weekend. We got some good matchups going on. You got good baseball games on. Like, it's the sports equinox. Last night, hockey. We had baseball. You had AEW Title Tuesday and NXT / WWE Raw / WWE SmackDown all on the same show.
Raw beat them. Those marks. Raw beat them.
Bro, it was so like, if you're not threatened by them, why did you call John Cena, Paul Heyman, Cody Rhodes?
I say this. Hey, AEW.
Bro, not even that. But here's the kicker. The Undertaker was there last night.
AEW, make a storyline.
You're right.
Make one storyline. All right? One that makes people care.
Get me invested.
Because at the end of the day, more people are willing to go click on Raw and complain about what's on Raw to even check in on what you're doing. So they're still getting the rating, no matter what. Yeah, make a storyline, bro. That's what it all comes down to. If you ain't got one, nobody's going to give a shit what's going on. You got a TNT title? What the fuck? Like, what? WWE doesn't have a USA title.
Christian's their best thing going right now.
And what is he? A product of WWE. He's a product of WWE, bro.
Bro,
they are doomed to repeat the sins of their fathers.
His promo last night was hilarious. He's like, Edge, he goes, Adam, you like to be a leader like that, like the last group you led that thought it was Halloween every week. Mm-hmm. He goes, the difference between me and you want to be a leader. In my group, I'm their father. Then he said Adam's 2 daughters' names. Goes, and then he said, and Beth, get the sheets changed because Daddy's coming home.
Oh boy. Yeah. So where we at? What's the time clock for tonight? 9:30. On the money picks, you think?
Yeah, go ahead, give them
and close the show. So we're doing the on the money picks. May or may not go live this weekend for a little bit of feelings ball if needed. We're still in the process of drafting right now for Supreme Ballers, but we're not going to stay live for this entire draft. We are currently only in the 5th round of this draft, and we've already done an hour and a half. It doesn't feel like it, but what's wrong, buddy?
Kyle Kuzma. RJ picked Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah, you don't got Kuzma, you don't got Curry this year, so you're fucked. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, he's done. You guys, he's done. Okay. He took both his pride and joys, the 2 guys that he was able to make the playoffs with the last couple of years. He's not able to roster them now. And so now Oscar O Money is in complete shambles. Some of the guys are saying the draft is taking a little long. Maybe some guys are thinking. Some of us didn't really do our homework on this draft, like we said before. So with the on the money picks, I went 3-2 on my picks last week. Looking to have another strong week so that I can stay in the lead as Oscar sits in shambles. My on the money picks go as follows. My first pick, I'm going with
Why are
the.
y'all doing this to me?
Yeah, you're getting sniped left and right, buddy. I don't know what to tell you. The Cincinnati Bengals over the Seattle Seahawks. With my second pick, I, for 2 weeks in a row, am picking the Washington Commanders to go over on the Atlanta Falcons. My third pick, I've got the Chicago Bears beating the new look Minnesota Vikings. With my fourth pick, I've got the Houston Texans beating the New Orleans Saints. And my fifth pick, I'm breaking the emergency fire extinguisher glass for this one. Don't usually do this, but I'm doing it. I've got the Tennessee Titans beating the Baltimore Ravens in London as my fifth on the money pick. I know.
I ain't mad if you do it.
I know. Oh, I know. But it's Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. So I'm following the script
Every other week
for what
you're a
this
different
team
team.
is. And we have not played 5 weeks where either week looks like the other week. So I'm expecting good things, even though we're choosing to go into London a couple days later and got this whole routine, blah, 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 whatever. My 5 picks are the Bengals, the Commanders, the Bears, the Texans, and the Tennessee Titans. And on next week's podcast, live, we will be doing, on top of our Week 7 review, on top of talking about the waiver wire and bye-week apocalypse.
Waiver wire from hell.
And talking about the ALCS, NLCS, and everything that's corresponding with that, and the Phillies potentially being in the NLCS next week, we will also be breaking down NBA playoff predictions, making our picks, our play-ins, playoffs, NBA finals, and who wins the NBA championship, because that time of the year is upon us. I know the basketball heads look forward to it. This time of year is for them, and we will not cheat them, even though we are in over our heads in fantasy football with all these leagues. We're going to give you what you want. You want your fantasy basketball, you want your basketball talk, you're going to get it. The season is about to start. You know, Dylan Brooks is doing his dances in the middle of center court. So we're going to break it all down.
He was on your team.
He's on my team. And
he said they referred to him as Mr. Dylan. What was it?
Dylan Villain or something. Dylan the Villain. Yeah, that's what he said his name is. Yeah, and on the money. So you're going to make your 10 picks on Sunday morning?
Yeah.
Okay, so Sunday morning, look out for the traditional picks from Oscar O Money Muniz as he and Mikey try to catch up to me in the on the money picks.
I'm set.
Oscar's in shambles right now because this draft has in no way worked out the way he wanted it to. I was about to go with KD. I'm not gonna lie. I was looking at Shai's name and I was about to do it. I was gonna repeat it.
I'll trade you Devin Booker for Steph Curry. Come on, E.
I don't have Steph Curry.
Eric, come on.
Oh, okay, Eric-y. Okay, you hear that, Eric? You got the first trade of the year. Oscar is already initiating trades. So what we wanted to happen might have just happened. All it takes is for you to draft the guys that he wants, and he might be the one to initiate a trade to you. Who would have thought? Holy shit. You guys are geniuses. This is a breakthrough for On the Money podcast. This is a breakthrough for Oscar and his ability to negotiate trades. This is just an all-around great night.
I'm just sad.
We went old school, and it paid off because we've gotten you out of your shell, and you realize that you have to make – you're not even using the beeper. You're using the red phone. You're using the red phone emoji. Not even the beeper, bro. Phillies fans happy, celebrating their win. I'm getting some of the comments right now that are going on. Thank you for everybody who has tapped in with us tonight as we went a little old school and did something different.
That's right. Mikey about to put auto draft on since he got to be up early like I do. But I don't got to be up as early as he does.
Peace out, brother. Thanks for tuning in, bro. Have a good day at work tomorrow, dude. Love you, man. The commissioner, the commissioner's commissioner, Mike D, the guy who runs about 8 leagues and, still making shit happen, getting this done in amicable fashion, last minute. We love you for it. The guys are in there picking right now. Once again, guys, once we're done picking these teams, do me a big favor. Post your team. Oh, I just auto-picked.
Did you?
I just auto-picked CJ McCollum.
Well, that's not good for
That's
you.
disturbing. All right. That's that's not what I wanted. All right, so CJ McCollum is on the trade block in case anybody's interested because auto pick got the best of me while I was doing the outro here. Damn it. Nonetheless,
Who were you gonna pick?
I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't even looking. I had it on the comments. I wasn't even.
They thought you were gonna pick Rudy Gobert.
Of course they did because I went crazy with the centers last year. Very funny,
Yes,
guys.
you did.
Jalen Green was sitting right there. I would have maybe picked him. I would have went with the homer pick. But ladies and gentlemen, once again, this has been another edition of On the Money Podcast. We will be back live in living color next week to break everything down. It's going to be another Equinox type episode. Get ready for it. Baseball, football, basketball. It's all happening, so we're going to bring you all of it. Until then, everybody, thank you for those of you who are tuning in. Shout out to the Supreme Baller Society. Excited to be part of year 3. And we love you guys. Take it easy. Be safe.
Take it easy.